What's good, everybody? You know what time it is. It's time for Elevated Vibes right here on IntellectualRadio.com, a iHeart radio station. Now, to jump into this conversation, you know the deal. Hit us up, 708-223-8953. Once again, that is 708-223-8953. Or, as always, you can catch us on Facebook Live. All right, y'all. You see who it is. It's your boy Abdul Rashid, along with
Tim.
Mr. Timothy Evans. And we're going to get this going on because today we're going to talk about the two unicorns in this political race. Yes, I say unicorns because it is different than the usual kit and caboodle on how the political race goes all the time. Those two unicorns are moderate Republicans who are backing Kamala Harris. And then you have black folks for Trump. All right, Mr. Evans, let's talk about it. Come on.
Well, I think that this election is unique in the fact that the lines of, especially at the end, are kind of blurry. The fact that Donald Trump is now gaining momentum because Kamala Harris, it seems like she changed her tactics. She changed her message towards the end to try to gain more Republican moderate voters.
Yeah, I could see a little bit of a change of message. What she's also doing, from what I can see, she's trying to bait him into a few different things, and I guess his camp is, keeping around him, trying to keep him from doing it. Because I guess he feels that, like she spoke about the tax returns and all that, and the health thing, and just to see if he would get with it, and he really isn't. And I think his camp is trying to make sure he doesn't, and also with some of the moderate Republicans, it makes you wonder, and you can tell me your thought process on this, because usually with politics, it's always that quid pro quo, or however they used to say it, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, that type deal. So you within it, and yes, they're backing her, and truthfully, hopefully I want to feel and say that they see the truth. They see that within their party, the guy who's leading it is a complete mess, and they rather go for the person who's going to be real with this country. This is what I want to feel. But you can't help but wonder, what are they going to get if she gets it to the White House? What's your thought on that?
Well, I mean, she's throwing all kinds of goodies their way, right?
Yes,
and I wouldn't consider the people who are endorsing her moderate. So Dick Cheney, to me, he's not a moderate.
Well, no,
he's not moderate. Neither is Liz Cheney. Both of those people are hardcore conservative,
and that's what
Republican.
made me kind of think about that, but then yet I'm trying to look at it with the better light, without the doubt. So I'm trying to look at it within a better light and just say that, they see that 45's a individual. I'm gonna be kind with it, and they rather go for the person who's going to help this country, and so that's why I'm, just wondering. I know I cut you, but go ahead and finish.
Yeah, I definitely, if I were her, I definitely wouldn't be throwing their names around a lot, because the Cheneys and the left part of the Democratic Party have a long history, right?
Yes.
They consider them warmongers. They believe that they're going to get us into more military action than the a moderate Republican would, right? And then another thing I was thinking about is her. She's also been saying that she's going to put a Republican in her cabinet, and she's been saying that a lot. So do you think that's a good idea?
You know what? It'd be a good gesture. to reach across the aisle, if you could find somebody on that other side who's going to be, you know, for the country, for the people as a whole,
Hmm.
you can't argue with that. If you could find somebody on that level, the way that the attitudes are nowadays, I I highly doubt it. But you never know. It could be somebody out there.
I thought Barack Obama did a similar thing when he got elected. Didn't he? Didn't he hire some Republicans to be in his administration?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't remember,
I
and
think Geithner wasn't Timothy. The I think he was the Secretary of the Treasury,
okay,
right?
okay,
I think he
okay,
was a Republican.
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, Barack Obama, he tried the same thing. It didn't work for him. Not too much. They wasn't suddenly on his side because he had Republicans around him,
Right.
you know, and they don't. When they get in office, do they extend the same gesture to us?
Well, we know that doesn't happen. If it did, it had to. I can say that extension had to be so low in the ranks that you would have, if you would have heard about it, you would have heard about it 3-4 seconds within a news reel, and there it is, and keep it
Right.
moving.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, we added this guy. Oh, did you see the Bears play? It'll be
Right.
right behind that, just like that. So
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but I can't think of any Republican that has done that. Not at
No,
all.
no.
Now I think one it may have been Bush Jr. I think he had put an independent on his team,
Okay.
if I'm correct. And please, if anybody knows, definitely call up, let us know. But I think he did put an independent on his team. But that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the FBI director, he was also a Republican at the time of Barack Obama. Remember, he left him in office. Usually, they
Oh
they
yeah.
get they get the
Yeah.
chance to change around the FBI and the CIA directors.
Right,
They left
right,
him in
right.
place.
It was the same one that he brought that October surprise on Hillary, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. So, I mean, do you feel also that the people, the regular voter, feel that, it may be a ploy, a quick game, some type of turncoat type deal, her reaching out to some of these Republicans? Do you feel, you know, that could be part of just the game, or you feel that that's real?
I think that she is actually trying to get the suburban middle class vote that's the Republican.
Hmm.
I don't think it's a game. I think she's actually trying to get those votes, and she would actually try to moderate her positions to get those votes.
Yes.
Now, in Trump's direction, though, I think he will say anything that that will get him the votes to get him across the line.
I think that man is becoming more and more unhinged.
Mm.
I mean, just today, I think he had or it may have been yesterday. He had one of those soft interviews with Harris. I'm trying to remember her name. Harris Bunker, whatever. She worked with Fox News,
Hmm.
and he was saying that he was the father of IVF. The same thing that you pretty much, put the justices of the court and all that out there to destroy, the abortion deal and all that, which they added IVF within it to stop that too.
Hmm.
So just to say that you're a father or something like that, and you have no, and you know that I was not the best science guy in the world. I would outdo him by a million miles and then some.
Yeah.
That's almost a guarantee. So to say something outrageous like that, even Kamala was just like, huh?
Yeah.
you know, the man he's losing it. He really, really is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's a shame that the media is not bringing attention to that more, like they did Biden. You know
Yes.
that you're right. It's not the same kind of emphasis on his mental decline than they had on Biden.
Exactly right.
And that's probably I'm not for sure, but I think they want it to be as close to 50-50 as possible, just for the ratings.
Yeah, I
You
can
know what
see
I
that.
mean? They
I honestly can
if
see
they
that.
see somebody pulling like away,
Yes.
then they're gonna try to bring that candidate back into 50-50 range.
Right. Right.
You know, because I remember when Kamala Harris, when she first announced, when she first became the candidate,
Yes.
she was behind, and that's all they were talking about: Kamala Harris, and they weren't hardly even talking about Trump at this point, right? Until she got a little bit ahead, and now I'm seeing Donald Trump. You know what I mean?
Right. And then
So
after she spanked him in that debate.
yeah. Oh
No.
yeah.
No doubt, no doubt at all. But let's even get into this with his unhinged ways, his followers, his people, and you have to question, and I know some African Americans get bothered when people question them on it. They getting kind of, I don't know, tight, but you start to wonder, and I understand some people's gripes. Some people gripes are, that the Democratic Party has taken our vote for granted. I could somewhat agree with that point, that they have to a point, but to run this risk of possibly going into an authoritarian type rule, because a lot of times a lot of people don't believe, or they taking it for word that this Project 2025 is not real, but it is. And it will divulge us into an authoritarian state. you know what do you feel if that was to happen? How would you look at some of those who voted for Trump,
Um,
or African Americans that
who
voted for
voted for
Trump?
Trump?
Yes.
Well, in my head, I would be saying, "He's so stupid," right?
Yes.
In my head, I would definitely have a little bit of that going on for a while because I would be upset, right? But then I would probably I have to come to the conclusion that they voted the way they wanted to vote. Sometimes you don't have all the information.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you got the media playing games, you got the Democrat Party playing games, and the Republican Party playing games with you,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So if they vote the way that they want to vote with the information that they have, hey, at that point, I would have to say that the Democrats should have they should have had a better platform, had some better ideas to make people want to vote for them. Maybe this incremental type of governance that they're doing change a little bit. Maybe that's not working. Maybe people want change faster,
Yes.
and they should learn their lesson. That's all. I mean, I wouldn't blame somebody for voting the way they vote.
What do you think about, because there's been a lot of backlash to President Obama because he called out black men on this, okay?
Mhm.
And I mean, personally, I look at it as, hey, sometimes you need to hear the truth. Plain, you need to hear the truth. You need to feel the truth. And as long as, and I'm the type of person, as long as you bring the truth to me and you bring it respectably, I ain't got no problem with you.
Right.
I may feel a little grunge and a little bit of my feelings, but I don't have a real problem with you. But a lot of people are having issues because of that. What are your feelings on that?
Um, I don't think all the pressure should be put on African American men or Latino men. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of pressure. Oh, if Donald Trump wins the White House, it's our fault. At that point, how about everybody else who voted for him? Don't focus on us.
Right.
At this time, it's only 25% of African American men under 50. Right. So when you go over 50 years old, yeah, the amount of the percentage is about 70-80% for African American men over 50.
Yes.
So it's the young guys, right? The younger guys who are, and that's only 25%.
Right.
1 out of 4.
Right.
So yeah, don't. It's not our fault. He got a lot of votes. If he can beat Kamala Harris, he got a lot of votes. It's not us.
I mean, it's still a close race at this point, regardless. But the thing is, and both parties see that it just takes a small section within these certain states. What is it? Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and North Carolina, I think.
North Carolina is one.
Oh yeah, and
Pennsylvania.
Nevada. Yeah, Pennsylvania, Nevada.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, Georgia. Sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot about them. You know, they see it only takes a little bit to make this change, you know. But the thing is, people aren't looking past what little bit may come to them. A lot of these folks are saying, oh, well, I made more money under Trump, blase skip. Thing is, okay, you may have made more money on Trump. Let's hypothetically say that. All right. Even though that little money that you made through these stimulus checks, PPP loans, and whatever, the reason everything's so high because we are stuck paying that same thing that we got back.
Right, exactly.
Right. And people don't see that.
Yeah.
All that where you like, oh yeah, I got an extra blah blah, and I'm gonna do this and do that. Now you paying it back. Now you're mad.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And they don't see all of the way it went, like during COVID. The gas prices was low. Nobody was driving. Okay.
Right. Everybody was at home.
Right. So yeah, the gas price is going to be low because
the gas is sitting there.
It's gas everywhere. Right. You can find gas. Nobody was using it.
Right.
So, yeah, they don't take into account the reasons why things went the way they went. You know what I mean? And the fact that people were working all types of overtime.
Right.
Right. You can't.
Absolutely.
Everybody was at home. If you were at work, you got everybody's work.
Right. So you sitting there making nothing.
You cleaned
but
up.
money.
Right. Exactly. The truckers were cleaning up. The grocery stores. Everybody was cleaning. They were making tons of money because everybody was at home.
Right.
That's not a normal situation.
Not at all.
So, I mean, I don't know how they expect the economy to be that good, during the normal situation,
Yeah, no, I agree. And then the fact that this man here, he does nothing, absolutely nothing presidential, he told people to drink bleach.
Yeah.
Come on now. And then he already told folks that if he gets back in that White House, all right, he's going to be on pretty much a revenge tour. Get anybody who, put something against him or whatever. How is that being presidential? You are supposed to be to a higher plane when you're in office. How is that being any of that? And I don't understand why people do not see it, and especially us black folks. And I know a lot of times we got to a point we got tired of looking at the news, we got tired of paying attention to politics and whatever, where we had other things in the world to worry about and to deal with. But then it comes to a point where you got to look at who created some of the stuff you have to endure.
Right.
They don't want to look at that point. And it's to a point, because if that comes to happen where that they're back in office, I do want to sit down with some of them. And when we start going through what we're going through, I want to ask them, now what? Now what do we do as a people to fix some things? And if they can't come up with an honest answer, please just go hide in your corner or whatever you gonna do. Because I mean, I got choice words, but we are on air, so I don't want to use them.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, I would have to say that a lot of podcasts on the left, they would profit a lot if Trump became president,
Why is that?
because everybody is going to be so worried. They're going to want to know all the news they can get their hands on, right? They're going to be looking at the left news podcast. They're going to be looking at MSNBC if they stay on long. I don't know if Trump gets, they might take them off the air quick, and CNN, they might want to look at them while they had a chance to. But people are going to be worried, right?
Yes.
And they're going to be subscribing. They're going to be donating like crazy. So it's actually a good thing if for money wise, not civilization wise, but money wise.
And that's the problem. We don't have no more civilization.
Yeah, right. Because he could do anything, right?
Yeah.
He can start,
Yeah.
locking people up.
I mean, that's a lot of the things that he said, and that's within that Project 2025. To bring on that level of an authoritarian type rule that would be amongst the people of America. And the fact that we, the people in this country, most of us have not experienced that.
Right.
I mean, yes, there are some authoritarian countries out there, and those people who may have migrated from there to here, they'll know how to endure some of that. But it's a reason they left from there to here.
Right. Right. Yeah, they really kind of screwed themselves when it comes to their voter base, the Democrats.
Yes.
Because for a democracy to work, you got to have a very informed base, right? And they gotta be up on politics. They got to be up on civics. They got to know how the country works, or else they'll be easily manipulated, right? Just like they are. It's like the Democrats. I don't know. They should have known this.
Yes.
I
mean, right now, I'll give Kamala credit. She's out here trying to, touch bases, touch down with people. Which, personally, I feel they should have done that at least 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was just on Charlemagne the God show and Roland Martin as well. So at least she's trying to come on and touch bases with people. And I'm gonna take my hat off to her. Matter of fact, since I got a hat on, I'll take it off. Boom. Because right now, she's probably on right now. She's in my book within a lion's den on Fox News, being interviewed by them. And you already know they're gonna try to bring her hell in a handbasket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, do you feel some of that is good where she is pushing that way? She is connecting with people, at least attempting to,
Towards the Republican side?
Well, not even that, but just trying to touch bases with, the regular Joe Schmo who may only vote every 4 years if you're lucky to get them. She's trying to at least touch bases with them. She's trying to touch bases with the younger crowd as well. So, I mean,
I think that she needs to touch base with our base, and she can communicate with the other side just by being stable and let them know in certain ways that things are not going to go off the rails if she becomes president, right? But she also has to realize that our side want change.
And that's one thing that I heard. I didn't mean to cut you, but I heard it off Charlemagne's show that she was saying that she's going to bring in some studies and so forth for the reparations deal, which a lot of people were talking about for a long time, been wanting that to come to the forefront, which a lot of times the Democrats kind of pushed it to the side. So, if she's going to be true to her word and be on that, I mean, you got to give her some type of credit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't. You know what?
Yeah.
So with it, some of those questions are very interesting that they ask her, right?
Yes.
And some of those questions are it seems like to me, um, it is designed to turn off one portion of her the people who she wants to vote for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say she starts talking heavily about reparations right now.
Yes.
She's going to push away a group of people, right?
Granted,
I know, yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. You're
So
right.
she should have like answers ready to go in those hard, because she knows that that's a question that has been asked before.
Right. Well, you know what? I feel like this. Once she gets asked the question with the reparations thing, I don't know because I did not watch her on you know, Charlemagne's show, but you know, you asked this if she's asked that question on about dealing with reparations and so forth, and like I said, she talked about the studying. One other thing that she should do is make sure that she brings out the point that other groups have gotten reparations,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for the wrongs that were done to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, why not be fair across the board? That's what it should be. And then, yes, I know a lot of folks will say, well, we can't afford that. But there are ways, and there are ways that all of that could be worked out. I mean, that would be a point that, oh, everybody's not going to get $500,000. You know what I'm saying? But you will get something, and it would be something to hopefully help you get on a level playing field within life. And that's something that she should bring out once she's asked some of these questions. Because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. You're absolutely right. It's going to turn off some people, and you just got to answer those questions the right way and leave it at that
Yeah.
because it's fact. you
Right.
know.
Right. And
Bless you.
I think that people, when it comes to like reparations, I know some people are definitely looking for a cash payout,
Yeah,
but people want to see progress. So if you come to like people's neighborhoods, start fixing up the infrastructure, start investing more in the schools,
absolutely.
you know, and they start to see their lives improve. Um, I think people will notice that, right?
Right.
So I'm for the government if they do anything like reparations for them to do that. I would rather them try to um, put some of the more um, poor areas on a higher level. Make sure every school is funded correctly. Make sure we have proper security. Make sure that our neighborhoods are kind of set up in a way and a design that enables them to succeed. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Small
Yes.
businesses inside of the neighborhood,
Yes.
walkable neighborhoods, stuff
Yes.
like that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So, I mean, if she can do that and people can see exactly, how the money is working, she can point to that all the time and say, listen, these schools, these public schools, they're the top in the country. We got all kinds of, this is what we did in this community, this is what we did in that community. So I think that would work as well.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Agreed. Absolutely agree. You
yeah.
know, now also with more of these moderate Republicans who are dissatisfied with Trump, do you feel that after this election is over, because regardless on which way that things go, Trump is going to have his hold somewhere on that party? Do you feel that those moderate Republicans should walk away from the Republican Party and either join with the Democrats or come with their own party?
I hope they come with their own party. That would be great.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the Democratic Party is too big also. I think both of the parties should break up. They are monopolies.
So spread the love from this two-party system. I mean, even though we do have other parties out there, but they don't get no attention to them. So spread the love, spread it out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they act like corporations, right?
Yes.
And they decide who is to run, who doesn't get money, who does get money. I would rather see a Green Party, a Socialist Party,
Now
a MAGA party.
you said a
My
bad word to a lot of people. You said socialist. They,
Hey,
right about now, they probably shaking their boots like, "Oh my god."
yeah, but I mean, hey, a lot of the most successful countries in this world are more socialist than us.
Yes,
Better education, universal health care.
you're absolutely
the
right.
the standard of living is way higher than ours, less crime. So, um, I know people they love capitalism, but you need to, you know, tamper it down some, if you wanna
Agreed.
if you want a decent country, it can't be all about the money. Uh, but
I mean, that's so very true. That is absolutely true.
yeah.
So, if you had the time to sit down with some of these African Americans that are for Trump, to listen to their stories and so forth, how would you maybe pull them back at least to the middle to make them realize that you are going with a delusional man? You are going with, a man of, yeah, just not the kindest guy in the world.
Right.
I mean, how would you do that? How would you talk with them? How would you, bring that conversation?
Well, I think if they don't know who Trump is by now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, they
But
know.
when this is all over, this is still probably a neighbor. This is still probably some of your people. And either way,
Yeah,
we all got to sit together.
yeah. I mean, I guess I can like talk about how this could all go sideways. Uh, depending on um, who has Trump's ear, right? Who's talking to Trump? The last person that's what they say. The last person who talks to him, that's who he usually goes with.
Oh my
So I
God.
mean, it could be really dangerous.
If
You
that
know.
if that's true, it's a lot of last people he talked to that probably need to be locked up. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, it definitely can be dangerous for minority groups. It can be dangerous for immigrants. He's talking about sending millions of immigrants back and undocumented folks, and that's definitely, even though it sounds like a good idea to a lot of people, it's definitely going to ruin the economy. All of these tariffs is definitely, and that sounds like a good idea to people, but that's definitely going to
But
ruin people's economy.
the simple rule with that tariff thing, all right, you charge one guy $100 more, maybe $200 more. This is just me guessing. You charge that one guy that, and that guy wants to sell his product. Does the people not think he ain't gonna try to get his money back and then some?
Right, right,
I
right,
mean, you think it in the capitalistic way. Everybody wants to make money.
right.
Everybody, they want cash.
Exactly.
You know, so if they got to come off this extra amount of money, whatever it is, they want more money from the people plus some because they want that profit.
Yeah.
Why? It kills me that people cannot see that. And I'm no economist. Lord, I wish I was, but I'm no economist, not at all. And when they first started talking about it, I knew exactly what's going to happen, what has happened.
Yeah. So I mean, the way they explain it is, if we already make that product in America and we are competing against like China, who is also making that product, now we can put a tariff on that, so it'll be harder for them, like TVs, right? Say we make TVs here, they make TVs there, but
Right.
they're shipping their TVs over here.
Right.
We want to make those TVs higher and make our TVs, be more competitive.
Right. And I get what they were saying with that, but see the thing is what they don't see. Okay, let's say the TV that's made here is going to cost, let's say it's 55-inch and it's going to cost you 700, $800. No, nope, $1,000. Okay. Now that TV, that same 55-inch that was made in China is going to cost you $600. So you're going to go with the guy that's $600.
Mhm.
But now you add these tariffs, and the Chinese man say, "Hey, I got to make my chop too." So now I'm gonna raise the price. So instead of competing with that $1,000 TV and a $600 TV, now you got $2,000 TVs.
Right.
How is that helping the common man? And why does not the common man see that he is not helping you? He is helping himself.
Well, it sounds like Trump is doing something. That's what they like. Oh, he's doing something to him, and it's not necessarily a good idea,
Yeah, so he's talking loud and saying nothing.
Right?
There
Exactly.
you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, they like when he talks, and they like when and that's probably one of the good things because he doesn't care. He just
I
he-
agree with that
he-
one point. He
if-
does not care.
right. If you want
Not at
things
all.
done, even though he's doing the worst things that I can't even imagine what he's going to do next time if he gets in.
Yes.
But he will definitely break through the Senate.
Yeah.
Hey, and with him not being able to be prosecuted at the end of his term,
Yeah.
Hey.
That's a killer.
hey, oh, you don't want to vote my way? I'm locking you up.
And-
I'm sticking the
and-
FBI on you.
And that's a lot of the things that he plans to do.
Yeah.
So
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? You know what? He could stick some FBI agents.
yes.
He can stick the attorney general on people, get into their backgrounds. Oh, you cheated on your wife? He could bribe people and all kinds of stuff and say, "Listen, I was doing it for the security of the nation."
Oh yeah. That's gonna be the line for the longest. So
I wouldn't.
Go
I think that Biden. How long has he got left in office?
I mean, until this term completely goes out, what is it, January 20th? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he got time.
yeah, I mean, you would hope he do more, since he's in this lame duck position. I mean, but we'll see. We'll see on that level.
You think
With-
he will use that new power in any kind of way until he gets out? Because he
I
can do a
mean,
lot.
Yeah, and you would hope that he would, but I don't think he will. He's going to stay kind of, how when most presidents are at that lame duck term, they kind of just go a certain way and then fade away. He'll probably do that.
But I mean, he's a lame duck, but is he really a lame duck? He can
He-
he snatch
does-
money
he-
at this point?
I mean, he doesn't have to be. He could do a lot of things,
Yeah.
but I don't think he will. He's gonna follow suit. So,
Mhm.
You be as it is. I just hope that people hear what Kamala got to say, and I hope that what she's saying is just not lip service and is actual something that she's going to do, which I feel she will. But then you got a whole thing with the Senate and all the other mess. So we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. Yeah, because
We'll see.
she has to win in a landslide, right?
I mean,
To get the Senate and the House, she's
You
gonna
know,
have to
you-
win big.
well, yeah, they got a lot of races too. So, you got to see how that goes, but you would hope that they will work and everybody will work together for the best of the country,
Mhm.
even though that hasn't been in that way in a very long time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
That we will. No, without a doubt. But we are up against the time. Any last words?
Vote for Kamala Harris. Please. Please vote for Kamala Harris because it's gonna be a rough road if Donald Trump gets in there. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what he's gonna do. He's mentally unstable,
Yes.
cognitively declining.
Cognitively unstable too. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I would like to say to the news, don't play the game. You know what's at stake.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt. And I would just like to say that folks pay attention. Pay attention to everything that is going on. Pay attention of the words that are said, and pay attention to everything that has been put out there on the level of the Agenda 47, the Project 2025, and everything else. All right. And once you actually pay attention and study, you will know what to do. All right. This is Elevated Vibes. Hey, y'all keep the conversation going. Always hit us up, the triple threat of radio@gmail.com. This is Elevated Vibes. We will catch y'all next week. Peace.